can see an overview of the solution here. So basically, we are providing pretty much everything except the robot. So it goes from the 7th axis, the base, the pallet sensor to have the pallet presence, and even the sensor at the in-feed conveyor that you're going to fix to have the box presence as well. So the 3 steps that we have to set up, so these are just an overview, but the first step will be to move it where you need it. So we also provide wheels that you can fix on the base, and then it's easily movable to the right area in your facility. Then we have to set up the program. We're gonna get into that in a second. And then the third step will be obviously to operate the palletizer. So if we go to the next slide, so how it works, so the trajectory planning works. So basically, we call it the Copilot software. So we are, and I'm gonna go into more detail with the teach pendant, but basically we teach one waypoint, which is the picking position. And then from there, the pallet is configured and all the trajectory will be planned automatically. So we make sure that the trajectory is optimized with spline to make sure that it's a smooth, continuous path. Beside that, we also have a secure path if collision is detected. So basically, we take care into account the pallet that is being built. So as you can see into the GIF here, so we make sure that we are that the robot knows the other pallet that is already built. We know the conveyor, so we know everything in the trajectory will be adjusted automatically with that collision detection software. And as you can see, so we have it's a 7-axis robot. So we have the 6 degrees of freedom with the robot, and also the 7th one with the axis in the middle to get the height of those pallets. So if we jump to the next slide, we have actually, Josh, from there, I could maybe present my screen.
Sure.
I'm gonna present the configurator. Almost there. Okay, here we go. So the online configurator, so basically, I wanted to do a quick touch on this one before going to the real software on the robot, but that's exactly the same thing as the real software. So we can simulate a palletizing solution. So for example, if you have an opportunity in your facility and you have boxes and pallet dimension, you can put that into the software. So we have the 4 menus in here. So the box dimension, pallet dimension, the conveyor is there, and also the pattern. So you can put all the boxes on the pallet and like specify how your layer will be built. And we also have label orientation. So you're going to see exactly what's going to look like in the real life. And as you can see, so everything is moving. So you can see the 7th axis and the robot moving. This simulator is using the same algorithms as the software in the robot. So you really have a real simulation with your own product. Also, what we have here, so we have the first KPI, so the throughput of your pallet. So at the moment, for this example, we have a 12.6 boxes per minute. So it's gonna give you a good idea of what the throughput you're looking for with your actual configuration. So you can have a dashboard, you can save project, you can also share those projects with other colleagues. So just wanted to throw that in there, and if you it's available, it's free on our website. So if you have some configuration you want to test out, it's available in there. So now I can jump into the actual software on the UR teach pendant. So basically we install our UR cap. So the UR cap is kind of an application, a software package that we install into the robot, and then it's ready to be used basically. So what we have here, so once we put the node of the palletizer, so as you can see, you can have these 4 menus, which are the same thing as the online configurator. But before we go into that, if we look at the node here, so we have the 12 lines that's going to be added automatically. So the first folder is the add before pallet. So if you have to put instruction before the pallet, you're going to be able to put that there and customize this folder. We have the grip and release folder where we put the vacuum gripper node, so the grip and release node. Then we have the add between layer. So that's where we're going to select. That's one example that we have is if we have interlayer sheets. So that's where we're going to put that. So in between each layer, we can manage robot movement, or even we also have a 7th axis movement that is independent from the rest of the robot and the palletizer node. So that's where we're going to put that. And then we also have the after pallet folder. So again, for any reason you want to put some instruction in there, have a buzzer, have anything that you want to have, you're going to be able to put that there. So if we come back to the core of the software, so we have the 4 menus. So if we go in there, you're going to see, so we have the box dimension that we have to input. We have the payload. We also have the set label orientation. So as you've seen in the configurator, we are able to orient those labels as we want and making sure that the labels are facing outside the palette. And then we're going to have that only waypoint that I was talking about. So that's the grip position. That's the only waypoint we're going to have to save into that solution. So once you put the tooling in the center of your box, you save that waypoint, and then you can jump into the second menu. So let's go into the palette. So pretty simple here. So we put the palette dimension in there, and then we can select if we want to palletize only the right side, only the left side, or both of them. So basically, once the first palette will be completed, the robot will continue and gonna start building the other palette. So that's an option as well. Then if we go into patterns, so we have the to edit pattern. And again, it's the same thing as the online configurator. So we can edit these two patterns. So if we select the first one, so I've already started it. As you can see, there's 6 boxes already placed on the palette. And then there's these arrows showing the label facing into this orientation. So everything is done via the teach panel. We can add some boxes. And as you can see, so if I put 10 millimeters, each time I'm going to click on the arrows, it's going to move by 10 millimeters. And then I can just go place those boxes where I want. So if it's red, that means something is wrong. And if it's blue, everything will be okay. So I can place that into position. And here I'm going to rotate this one. So as you can see, the labels on both sides will be facing outside. So the first pattern is completed. I could do the same with the second one. So same thing here. We can orient and move the boxes and rotate those boxes to make sure that the label is facing outside. So really simple to do, really user-friendly. No need for external programming. Everything is done via the teach panel. So once the pattern are completed, we can go back. We have the number of layers. So let's say we can put 8 layers. And then we have the current layer sequence. So in most cases, or some cases, we're going to have some alternating layers that we have to put in just to have a better structure. So we can put that like this, and you can see the results in here. So A, B, A, B. So basically, each layer will alternate one after the other. From there, we have the settings. So we can put the tool speed, tool acceleration, with and without the box. We have the box presence input. So basically, we can get the sensor into the UR robot, and we're going to be selecting the inputs in here. We can put that in Imperial as well. So it's really up to the user. And from there, you will be ready to press play, and the full palletizing sequence will happen. So basically, we have one waypoint, these 4 menus that we need to input some data, and the full palletizing sequence will, and all the trajectory will be created by itself.